Yeah.
Well, goodness.
Hello. I was
But
going to
look
do an
at you.
intro.
Fine. I asked before.
You're so ready, though. I love it. Hello, everyone. We are back. It is the Extra Life Virtual Murder Mystery 2025. Whoop, 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 whoop. We are all here to figure out who done it. There has been a murder at Gatsby Manor. We are here playing for Extra Life for Kids. That QR code over there will get us to, or get you to our donation page where you can donate to any one of these fine people that is also fundraising to help kids at Gillette Children's in the Twin Cities here. And other than that, feel free to interact, harass us in the chat. We love it. If you think you know who done it or you have a clue, pop it in the chat. We love the assistance. And yeah, wherever the chat is, I physically don't know because I'm on StreamYard. Perfect. So we are all set, and our glorious Inspector Case, take us away.
Well, goodness. But look at you. Such an array of notoriety, and I am simultaneously both enchanted and repelled by the lot of you. Repelled? Why, yes, because I know for a fact that one of you here is so much a distinguished guest of the host, but rather a cold, calculating murderer. I'm Inspector Case. I've got a reputation in the force for closing complex cases like this one and keeping my reports short and to the point, which is why they summoned me here this evening. On the whole, I like large parties. They're so intimate. At small parties, there isn't any privacy. Everyone has to speak to everyone and nothing is hidden. But at large parties like this, well, you can creep around corners and it appears you can shoot someone without anybody noticing. Fortunately, someone noticed, which is why I'm here. What's more surprising, though, is that all of you are still here, too. I'm not even had to make arrangements to keep you here. You were all quite happy just to stay and drink Randolph's alcohol and eat his food and continue the party until the police arrived, leaving his cold, dead body exactly where it was found, in his study. Which begs the question, how many of you were friends with the man? And how many of you were only here for the party? Because it seems to me no one appears to be particularly bothered by his death, which leaves me wondering, no, not just who did it, but how did Randolph has remained alive for so long? My guess is it helps being wealthy, and Randolph wasn't shy about showing it. These grand parties of his being a case in point. So, the questions in my mind currently are, which of you cold-hearted guests killed him, and why? Was it a spur-of-the-moment thing, or something you'd been planning for some time? As to how he was killed, well, it seems to me like one of those locked room cases you read about in crime novels. A smoking gun left in a desk, the patio doors unlocked, the door to the room itself closed, and the murderer nowhere in sight. All that I can tell you is that he didn't shoot himself. No one shoots themselves in the chest. So I come back to his guests. If we can establish motive and opportunity, I can close this case. So, do any of the suspects here gathered have anything you wish to say?
Well, I can't think why you would think I, Jay Walker, would have anything to do with this. I mean, I hardly knew Randolph. He was just one of my neighbors here on Long Island, and just one of my neighbors at that. I mean, there are plenty of others, and as far as I know, none of them are dead.
Oh, Jay, I don't think anyone truly believes that someone here plans to kill everyone on Long Island. If they did, surely there would be a much bigger police presence than just one measly detective. Goodness, there were more police in attendance when I had that last big argument with Casey before the divorce. I'm Allie, by the way. Allie Money.
Well, if I were married to you, I think I'd be arguing too, Allie. No one married to
Ow.
me would be seen dead wearing what you're wearing. I'm Chris Tingle from Tingle Fashions. If what you wear doesn't make you look absolutely fabulous, then you need to see me. I put the shine in fast shine. Well, that worked better in my head. I'll work on the tagline.
I would say so, Chris. That was just dreadful. It sank faster than my last transatlantic attempt, which let me say was not wholly my fault. No one could have predicted the winter. I am Ryanair. One day I hope you'll see my name on aeroplanes everywhere.
Wolf, yeah, sure. Okay. Well, nobody can say you don't have ambition there, Ryan. As for me, I mean, my name's already well known. People look up to me, Alexa, for all the up-to-date news. If I haven't reported it, it hasn't happened. And I tell jokes too, just not right now.
Yes, I've heard some of your jokes, Alex, and they really aren't all that funny. I'd stick to reporting if I were you. Even I avoid jokes when I'm on stage. I'm no comedian either, but fortunately I've got a voice like an angel, which is why my name is Angel Voices.
Just your stage name? I thought it was your real name, too. You would never hear of an explorer adopting a stage name. We all want the fame under our own name. I'm Kendall Mintcake. There's not a mountain I haven't climbed in the States. And now I'm looking at the Himalayas. And after that, the South Pole. Wouldn't that be a thing, to be the first to climb the mountains there?
They have mountains there? Well, what do you know? You learn something new every day. I thought it was just icebergs and penguins. I'm Gray Shades, novelist. I usually write romances, but when something like this falls in your lap, well, maybe my next model should be crime. There's nothing like writing from experience.
Well, thank you for that, everyone. But I don't think just because you're being helpful thinks you're off the hook. It's clear to me whoever killed off Randolph thought they'd get away with it. There's no attempt to hide the crime, and no one running away from the scene. Now I think it's time to start digging a little deeper into this mysterious murder. To that end, I think it'd be a good idea to let you all ask each other a few questions. We're bound to uncover a little gossip if we start prying. Just a minute. I think Allie Maroney has something to say. What is it, Allie?
So just to recap, Randolph is dead. We're all suspects, and we can't leave until the inspector decides which one of us did it.
I mean, that sounds about right. Any other obvious facts you'd like to announce? Maybe telling us that water is wet?
Actually, chemically speaking, water isn't wet. Wetness is a sensation caused when... Sorry, Wi-Fi disconnected real quick, so I stopped.
Not the time.
Look, we can either sit here and twiddle our thumbs, or we can try to help solve this and get on with our lives.
Help solve it? Allie, the last time you tried to help, you accidentally set fire to your own hair.
That was one time, and it was a defective candle.
Look, I know the inspector doesn't think it's self-inflicted, but perhaps it was an accident. The gun may have just gone off by itself.
I don't think so, Angel. Guns don't generally do that.
So that rules out an accident then.
Not true, Alex. It could have been an accident. Someone may have been looking at the gun when it went off.
So is that your defense, Ryan?
Me? Don't try to pin this on me, Jay. I was just clarifying things. I know what happens when you pull a trigger, but someone else might not.
Surely, even if someone isn't familiar with a gun, they know how they work.
Point and shoot. Isn't that how all guns work?
Well, it's sure how this murderer's gun worked. How'd they get away, though?
I don't think they did, and that's why the inspector has identified one of us as the murderer.
Well, I think until we've established there's not another way out of the building, they should call all of us witnesses rather than suspects.
Maybe you should put that to the inspector when they come back.
Then again, it's probably best not to antagonize the police. I don't want to be taken in for questioning. If they can clear us all here, surely that's better.
Well, it'll certainly help me if we can get this all cleared up quickly. I have a business to run.
In that case, don't you think it about time we start asking questions?
Well, I'm glad at least someone's happy. Tell you what, why don't we start with you asking questions instead? Do you have a question for anyone?
Of course. Chris, did you design any of your clothing for Randolph?
Oh, yes, I did. I have been for years. Randolph and I saw eye to eye on fashion. He always liked to look his best, and he knew that I could make him look good. Randolph did have an eye for fashion. I think he might have inherited that from his mother. You know, she was always wearing the latest haute couture.
Well, hey, that makes me think. Chris, when was your last fashion show?
Oh, let me think. I have so many of them. The last one was just a few months ago. Yeah, I'd usually be hip deep in fabrics and fulfilling orders right now, but the show didn't bring in as many orders as they usually do. But, it does mean that I was able to come out to this party tonight and you can all see me. And so every cloud has a silver lining. It doesn't always look good on a cloud, of course, but the right cloud, the right silver, a delightful combination.
Gray Shades, how did you know Randolph?
I'm a neighbor. I live a few doors down. My house is the one with the pink boathouse close to the shoreline. I usually write in there. It gives me uninterrupted views of the sound, and you need a big vista like that when you're writing a large, sweeping romance. It's my muse, especially first thing in the morning when the mist is clinging to the coast like a feather eider down to a curve of a ruggedly handsome buttock. Kendall, I'm mystified. How did you know Randolph Fitzgerald?
Oh, Randolph and I go way back. He was just a junior reporter when we got to know each other, and he was sent to report on my first ever expedition. I believe it was Tanzania. It was steamy and hot, but never mind. We've both come a long way since then. He was head of the vast media empire, and I'm a world-famous explorer with a reputation for daring do.
Oh, that's a juicy plot.
Angel, am I remembering rightly? You used to be part of a duo.
Why, yes, I used to tour with my sister, Melody. Thank you. We would harmonize, and to tell you the truth, things were going great for a while. Sister duos are such a fad at this time, we all know. And things were going great for both of us, equal careers. But Melody, that's her name. She was headstrong, stubborn. I'm not saying I can't be either, but she inherited that trait from my father in spades. Well, we fell out, and I went solo. Solo, she couldn't come with. Is that a funny air joke? Nay? So she did. She went solo. I went solo. We went our own ways. We had hoped to get back together eventually, but we just fell out of touch, me and my own sister.
Angel, wasn't your sister seeing Randolph Fitzgerald romantically?
Odd taste in men, that one. I suppose it could be possible. And as I reflect on it, yes, she was. She never introduced us or anything. I suppose he was here at this party. Who knew? But she told me that he was just a regular at the club. Which club? I don't know. We don't talk. It's just the club. We're all familiar. And she said that he was a big hotshot publisher with a mansion on Long Island. Well, I mean, there ain't a lot of them around here, are there? So the only person that it could be was, yes, Randolph Fitzgerald.
Oh, Long Island, did you say? Allie, when did you move to Long Island?
I've been here about 6 years now. I moved in with Casey, of course, but when Casey left me that whole messy business, I insisted on keeping the house. I love Long Island, and I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. And the house is swell. It's in the perfect location, and it smacks of old money charm. It lends me an air of respectability. People assume it's my family home, but it's not. We snapped it up for a song after we made a lot of money in banking.
Allie,
Speaking of songs, does anybody know Louis Armstrong? One of my friends. He got this from me. You may know that I'm a very influential jazz singer. And Alex, I did have a question for you. Randolph employed so many people. Were you one of his little lackeys?
Well, I don't know if I'd put it that way, but yeah, I did. And let me tell you, he wasn't an easy man to work for. But that don't mean I killed him or nothing, right? I mean, it's my boss. Maybe we had the odd disagreement, but it's nothing I pulled a gun on him for. I know Louis actually, and he was telling me that song about the shark teeth. That was about you.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
true. I have so many friends in music.
Yeah, your teeth are so big and pointy. He was just
yes. Don't cross me. See, I don't tell jokes. I'm bad at it. Sound like threats. Now, I do have a lot of friends in music. It's true, and I have been looking for someone to shepherd me and my friends Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper. Ryan, do you have a sponsor for your transatlantic flight? If you took us, perhaps we could make an arrangement.
Yes. Randolph Fitzgerald and his media company are my main sponsors. I usually have their logo on my fuselage. I don't think he was terribly impressed when his logo is photographed on a sinking plane, but he's usually delighted when I break the latest world record to have his logo front and center.
And how are you getting along with that latest aeroplane design of yours?
Well, I would have to say it was going well, but then this week my competitor rolled out his latest aeroplane on the runway, and it's identical to the one that I've been working on the design for. You can't tell me that's a coincidence. There are far too many similarities, and the only people who've seen my designs are my staff, who I trust implicitly, and Randolph. It's why I came here tonight. I wanted to speak to him about it.
Gray
Allie.
shades. Okay.
Allie, when did you
Yes.
even get to the party? I mean, did you manage to see Randolph?
Oh, yes. I got here in plenty of time to see Randolph. It's easy to be on time when you live just next door. I've also popped back since to let the dog out. He's a Bichon Frise. Very shishy. You can see my house from the garden. It's literally just along the shoreline.
It's odd, Jay, that you would be asking about the distance and when people arrived. How often would you say that you were at Randolph's house yourself?
I mean, me, hardly ever. Randolph and I didn't really see eye to eye. We had a bit of a disagreement over money. He said I owed him to repair some damages that I did to his property when my car left the road, but I disagreed on that.
Jay, was it your car I saw rolled over at the border of Randolph's Estates Road last year then?
I mean, It may very well have been. I mean, I was avoiding a raccoon and took a corner a little fast, swerved, and ended up turning my car over. I mean, as you can see, I'm perfectly fine, though. Shame the same couldn't have been said about that car, or Randall's rose beds, or the wall. All of them were ruined. I mean, I really blame the raccoon entirely. And I mean, at the end of the day, the raccoons are only here because Randolph doesn't pay someone to clean up his after his parties properly. I mean, less mess, less pests.
Hear, hear.
Speaking of the guest list, Kendall, darling, I don't know that I've seen you at one of Randolph's parties. Do you often find yourself invited?
Often, always. When I wasn't exploring, yes. Randolph liked me to come. He said I added a bit of excitement to the evening. He said I was an excellent raconteur, not to be confused with those pesky raccoons Jay was just talking about. And he loved to see me holding forth with an admiring crowd. He said, Kendall, I can hire jazz musicians, I can hire singers, spectacle, but what I can't hire is realism. You bring the thrill of the real, and I cannot hire that. But of course he did. He was my biggest sponsor. Without Randolph, I could have done all of my expeditions. So while I was invited, it was more like a requirement to come. I was not expected to turn a party down. Alex, you worked for the man. Would you describe Randolph as a nice, kind gentleman?
Jesus Christ, no. He was corrupt and dishonest, a real piece of shit. He used everything he learned to raise money through blackmail. Not a nice man at all. And to tell you the truth, I ain't surprised he's dead. What surprised me about it is that someone took this long to do it.
Ray, how are the sales of your latest book going? I've heard it's been a little rocky.
Allie, much like your former marriages, it's not going well. Not as well as my last 3, in fact. The way sales are going, it doesn't look like I'll get any money. Exactly. But in fact, the way sales are going, it doesn't look like I'll get any money beyond my initial advance. It's been very disappointing. Usually you make the big break around the 4th or 5th novel and become a global name. But this 4th one is going so badly, I'll be lucky to get international success with my next either.
Has everybody inquired thusly in the way the bear instructed to on the sheet?
Yes.
I have no more questions.
Okay,
Juicy
great.
gossip though it is, I'm afraid I'm out of questions.
Beautiful.
Well, that was all very interesting. I'm not sure how relevant a lot of it is at the moment, but I think we can safely say we're making progress. Question is, what are we progressing to? Because it doesn't sound to me like we're narrowing down the field. If anything, we're widening it. Because the more I hear, the less I trust any of you. Even those I first thought might be innocent seem to have some grudge against this man. As for his demise, there's not much more I can add. The gunshot wound was fairly close range, making it easier to hit the target and reducing the need for someone to have any particular skill with the weapon. Looking at the angle of entry of the wound, it appears to me that the shot was likely fired by someone inside the room, probably someone standing on just the other side of the desk. Interestingly, my team have discovered the gun left on Randolph's desk was not the one used to shoot him, as we all thought. That gun is perfectly clean and shows no evidence of being used at all. It wasn't even loaded, which means whoever did kill him brought the gun with them and has since disposed of it somewhere. I have my team combing the grounds now. I'm sorry, Jay, did you have something to add?
Well, if they're combing the grounds, they might as well also want to dredge the well that's on my land. I mean, it's really close enough that it's just in throwing distance.
You're just wanting someone to clean out your well, Jay. No one would have managed to toss a gun that far. You're being ridiculous.
Now. They wouldn't need to, Allie. Not with the river just at the end of the garden. It's surely the best place to look.
There have been people in the gardens on and off all evening. Anyone could have thrown the weapon away.
Sure. I mean, and I doubt anybody would have heard the splash either, not with all this music going on.
Without the weapon, will they be able to identify the killer?
La 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 la. Oh, sorry. All the world's a stage, and I must stay prepared. But I'm sure the police can create a case without the murder weapon. Surely, they have a body. Isn't that all they need?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've read a crime novel.
Means, motive, opportunity. Aren't those the three things crimes are solved with?
Well, we're all here, so that's not a good start, Kendall.
And likely why the police think it's one of you, or I guess one of us.
All right, then. Let's be honest. How many of us actually liked Randolph?
Still barely know the guy.
Liking him wasn't exactly a requirement for attending his parties.
No, but tolerating him certainly was.
I found him charming.
Charming.
In a deeply unpleasant, morally bankrupt, and borderline criminal sort of way. But yeah, there's a reason he attracted so many people to his parties.
I mean, we didn't just come for the free booze?
Prohibition being what it is, I'm happy to be stuck in a house with a fully stocked wine cellar.
And not just wine by the looks of things. The number of parties Randolph throws, he must have had a stockpile before the law came in force.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure we're all happy to believe that while the police are here, Kendall. But, as well as I do, that he couldn't have possibly have that much stockpiled. He's been bootlegging it. He must have been.
Just what I was thinking, Alex. But I'm not here to raid the place. I'm just here for murder inquiry. So let's put that matter to the side for now and get on with questions. Now, who would like to go first? How about you, Allie?
Alex, do you carry a gun? You seem like the kind that would carry a gun.
He does.
Wow.
I'm not accusing you of anything. This is just the 20s. Everybody has. I have a Derringer in my purse.
Big gun energy.
It's fine. Nothing wrong with catching strays I've ever seen. Jeez. But yeah. You know what? I do. I'm a reporter, and that means I've got to visit some of the seedier parts of town, so I keep it on me for personal safety. Now, that don't mean I killed him with it, though. And the police said Randolph's own gun was used. That means it could have been anybody here.
Well, then, where were you when Randolph was shot?
I was in the house. I was people watching. You can learn a lot about people just from watching how they interact in the room. Randolph had been circulating, and I was watching how people flinched as he came close. He had dirt on just about everyone. He was a man of power, and the room was his to own. I'd lost track of him as the room filled up, so I didn't see him going to the study, though he must have done. I'm fairly sure I saw Allie money come out of there, though. And you know what?
Allie, were you a regular guest at Randolph's house parties?
Of course, yes. Randolph is very gregarious, and his parties are famous, or should I say infamous. Randolph always invited all of his neighbors, and it reduced the chances of him getting complaints. Besides, everyone knows he had the biggest wine cellar on Long Island. If we're all going to ride out Prohibition, then we need to take advantage of anyone who has a stock prior to the ban.
Okay, sure. But, Allie, I heard you and Randolph arguing just the other day in the gardens. What's up with that?
was having an incy-bincy tiny minor disagreement. Randolph wanted to run an article on me, but I do not like to be in the papers. I don't want my photo taken and blasted all over the media. I may be interesting, his words, not mine, but publicity isn't for me.
Ryan, were you the person who raised the alarm?
Oh, yes, I was. I was first into the room. I was the one who heard the shot and recognized it for what it was, or at least the only one who seemed to care. But I don't think that means I killed him. First on the scene doesn't automatically mean I'm the murderer. In fact, if anything, it rules me out, especially as I'm so willing to say I was the first there.
Where were you when he was shot?
I was in the house. I recognized the sound of a gun, and I ran into his study. I fired the odd flare in my time, but there wasn't anyone in there with him. The gun was on the desk, and the patio doors were closed but not locked. I locked them myself. It was the only other way out of the room. Gray, how has the publicity been going for this recent novel? I don't remember seeing it in the press as much.
That's because it had one scathing review and then was never mentioned again. I couldn't get any editor to give me any publicity for it. They all quoted the recent review in Randolph's paper and wouldn't give it the column inches it needed. That one review killed all future publicity chances I had.
I mean, thinking of somebody else that loves publicity. Kendall, did Randolph provide more than just funding for your expeditions?
Why, yes, he did, of course. He often provided a journalist or photographer, too. He wanted everything I did documented. I sold papers, you see, and people want to read about my exploits. I was big business. The journalists were non-optional additions to any mission.
Chris, I think that's a darling shirt you're wearing, but why do you think you don't get as many orders from your fashion show as normal this time of year?
Oh,
Is it the designs?
No. It was the review, darling. My latest fashion show had a terrible review in the papers. I can't think what happened. Randolph's staff were usually quite glowing about everything I create, but this time clearly they disliked the look. And it makes such a big difference. A positive review equals massive orders, whereas a negative review equals nothing. I wanted to speak about it with Randolph this evening, and I thought he should sack that reporter that he sent along to my fashion show. Clearly, they know nothing about fashion. I mean, look at this bespoke pom-pom that I am wearing on my newest line.
Chris, where exactly were you when Randolph was shot?
Oh, darling. Where is anyone at any time, in any place, and anywhere? It's so hard to tell. With the gunshot, I honestly have no idea where I could have been, because you hear a gunshot, you hear a cork of a champagne. They're basically the same thing, so I know I was here at Randolph's house, somewhere on the grounds, but I cannot tell you any more beyond that. We said hello when I arrived. He was wearing the most luscious and beautiful number. One of mine, of course, designed it exclusively for Randolph. It really brought out the color of his eyes. Now,
I'm sure we all remember. We all knew him, right? We all knew him. Me the least. Least motive here. You all seem deeply familiar with Randolph. And that leads me to wonder, Jay, I keep hearing about this well-hidden treasure on your land. Tell me about it.
That old chestnut. Yes, there's an old well on my property, but there's no treasure. But that doesn't stop the myth. People love a story, don't they? The well's old enough that it could have been around in the, 16th or 17th century when the settlers did hide their treasure to keep it safe. But the well's been half ruined for years, and as to whether there's anything to miss, I doubt it, but lots of people believe these legends, and Randolph included in that group. In fact, I know he hired somebody to research the history of the well at some point.
A well,
I mean-
you say?
But I mean, Angel, how well did you know Randolph? I mean, we all seem to know him, but you seem to not know him very well at all.
What a segue. How did I know Randolph? Let's see. Let me put it into a song. Can I get some rhythm? Not well at all. Thank you. Barely knew the guy. You see, I was hired to sing. I'm not here as one of his guests. I'm here to tittle-tattle on the old schmooper. That's what we call it back in our day. We all remember. Hold on.
Can you even say that in the 1920s?
The old schmooper. Oh, yeah.
Tickle the old schmooper.
Tinkling the schmooper. Mhm.
Just as Jelly Roll Martin did, perhaps.
I heard that about Jelly Roll Martin.
Probably.
Jelly Roll Mutton. See, I'm here to sing for my supper, too, just as Jelly Roll Mutton must have. And Randolph saw me at a club in town, the club, we all know it, and said that I was just what he was looking for. My smooth voice was perfect for his parties. We can all agree we're having a great time. And tonight was to be my first gig, so I guess it's also my last. Nothing to gain for me in his demise.
Huh. Well, Angel, you asked Jay about his well. Jay, you asked Angel how well she knew him. So all I have to say is, well. Ray, you write romance books, I believe. Did Randolph even read romance books?
Well, I always gave him an advance copy of my book. There's nothing like having a publisher on board when you're trying to get publicity. Randolph controlled the paper, so it was always a good idea to have him on board if you wanted to hit the bestseller list. Only to tell you the truth, I don't for one moment think he read them. I think he probably passed them along to the book critics in his employ. Just
Well,
can't have everything.
If you write like you answer, then it must go on and on. No would have sufficed.
So Alex has read the books. Alex worked for him. Was that like a Christmas present?
Yeah, he gave shitty gifts. So. That may be where he went. But hey, you know what, Jay? Now that I'm thinking about it, like everybody knows that you and Randolph didn't get along. So why are you even here?
I think it was Randolph's attempt to bury the hatchet with me. He valued me over and said it was about time we settled this argument between us once and for all. He said he had some new proposal for me.
Decent.
I think it's dreadful that you all got such terrible gifts. My dear Bichon Frise Pfeffernuss was a gift from dear Randolph. He said that he reminded him of me, which I thought was very sweet.
That's one way of looking at
Dear
it.
Pfeffernuss.
Just like that.
Pfeffernuss Sparks like.
Yes. Angel, I noticed that when you seem to be talking about your sister, you use the past tense. Is she dead?
Yes. When I said we went solo, she went solo, we married her. Maybe I should joke in my act. Oh, that was a good one. She died last year. Don't even worry about it. We never did get back together, We broke up after that. Just sister schmister. And I never did get the chance to put things right between us. Not properly. Not like a well-built well. Now, they said that she drowned in the river. But there was no water in her lungs. So who's to say? The police doctor, that's a job. that we all know exists in our time.
Absolutely. Yes.
That dear old police doctor told me as much when I went to confirm her identity. He said it was like foul play. And I said, as if a duck pecked her to death. He said, what? But the police ruled it, the police doctor ruled it as an accident and said that she'd accidentally driven the car over the embankment and she'd be unable to get out, of course, after that. So she just sat there until eventually she must have died. So the thing is, she also didn't drive. So that was odd. I mean, the first time out, bad luck, eh? But they wouldn't follow it up.
My condolences, Angel. You'll never hear her tinkle the schmooper ever again.
They call us the Schmooper sisters.
I bet they do.
What a journey that story was, Angel. Thank you for sharing. Speaking of journeys, some call them adventures, others call them expeditions. Kendall, I think you were just talking about your last expedition. Was it a smashing success in your eyes?
Oh, of course it was. We were exploring above the Arctic Circle, trying to find the Northwest Passage, and Franklin's doomed ship ran into Roald Amundsen, and he's a wacky man. Uses dogs to travel the Arctic so that they also serve as food. Can you imagine? Dogs as food. Anyway, we did meet a number of natives who taught us how to build traditional igloos, so we have lots of great photographs of the team with walruses and polar bears. It was a delight.
Sounds great for you. I've never heard of dogs as food. One of my peers, dogs as a coat, yes, but food, that's a new one.
I ate dog one time, wrote a story about it. Look it up on the library.
Oh, all right. It sounds like we have some very good questions getting asked and some very interesting answers. Not all of them relevant, but you can't have it all. No. We've been asking a lot of questions. Do you all need a break at all before we dive further into anything?
Does anyone need a potty break?
Oh,
No.
All
Okay.
right.
Just make sure.
Things
I
are
already
beginning.
tittle-tattled on the old schmooper before we started.
I have the bladder of a great white whale.
Things are beginning to crystallize in my mind, at least, and I'm beginning to see how someone might have managed to get out of the room unseen to dispose of the murder weapon. I've asked a team of divers, but finding a gun in the dark at this time of night is probably going to prove impossible. Fortunately, I don't think we'll need a weapon to solve this case. It all seems to be coming together on motive and opportunity. Don't you agree, Chris?
If you think so, Inspector, I mean, I can't see it myself.
Well, that's because you're not an investigative journalist like me. What we should be looking at is motives. Who had an actual reason to want him dead?
Well, I don't want to point fingers, but
Ryan, you have literally just extended your index finger at me.
Now isn't the time to start pointing fingers. Besides, I think most of us had a reason to fall out with the man. But I mean, to kill Randolph, I mean, that's a whole other ballgame.
The man had the business ethics of a raccoon in a jewelry store.
not to mention the personality of a spoiled ham.
Let's not start with the pointing fingers part yet. We haven't even finished our drinks.
Oh, it's so good to warm up the voice before any vocal exercise, don't you say? Anywho, some of us haven't even started. The tragedy here is that Randolph had an entire storm cellar full of liquid And now it might be going to waste. I say we drink up.
That's the tragedy? Not the fact that he's dead?
Yes.
We can mourn and multitask.
I figure the police are looking forward to impounding all of it. It's, I dare say it's not all kept in the evidence room either. Fucking cops.
Oh, I should think not. I've seen the police balls before the band came in, and I know how much they like to drink and wear ugly things.
Well, in that case, I see it as our duty to drink as much as we can before they name the killer and ask us all to leave.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm sure I saw some malt whiskey on a shelf somewhere.
Oh, yes, he was quite the connoisseur of scotch. He got quite a bit from Ireland, too.
Yes, they've got a number of whiskey distilleries there, don't they?
Well, if there's a chance of stringing out this murder inquiry until we drunk Randolph's 25-year-old cask malts, I'll be most obliged.
I'm not about to let you all slow down a murder case to allow you all to get schlossed. I might turn a blind eye to the alcohol on premise while I solve a murder, but I'm not going to encourage you all to break the law. So, let's see about finishing this, shall we? Ryan, let's have a question from you.
Ryan has taken you up on that potty break.
I'm sorry, I was quite thirsty, and someone said to drink up. So I fetched myself a beverage, and I am sorry. It's been such a traumatic evening. Could you repeat the question, please?
You should be asking the questions at this point.
Oh, Angel, were you in the study when Randolph was shot?
Hard to recall. Let me warm up my brain. La 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 la. Oh, there, better. Yeah, I was in there looking for some evidence that Randolph killed my sister. Seems a little sus, right? Don't you agree? Anyhow, when someone came in. So, Inspector, if you have nothing better to do after this case is solved, could you help me? They were both shouting, and I couldn't tell you who it was or what. I squeezed myself into the tightest of spaces, and my ears were fairly squashed here in the old schwoopadoopa. I hid, and I stayed hidden, and I stayed out of sight right until I heard the gunshot that killed them. That was loud enough. I got up to look, and Randolph was dead. I was about to shout out, but then I noticed I hadn't warmed up. So I went, me. And just as I was about to do something useful, I noticed a packet of money on the desk. So I took it. And you'll never catch me, copper. I'm just kidding. I was just heading for the door when I heard someone coming, and I hid again. I'm very good at hiding. You'll never find me. And I was behind the door this time. And Ryan came in, and I snuck out while they were looking at the body. I just didn't think anyone had seen me. Did you, Ryan? Am I good at hiding? I must be. Thank you.
Wait. You think Randolph killed your sister? Are you only here tonight to find out if that's true?
I mean, it's a little column A, little column B. I mean, a gig's a gig. So, happy to take his money and any money that's laying around. I would say all of you keep your purse close when old Angel Voice is around. But yes, it had crossed my mind to do some inquiries while I was here. There was no evidence that said that Randolph did it, but I thought if there had been any evidence, it would be here in this house. Only I didn't find anything. I didn't get the chance before Randolph was shot. Quite rude of whoever did it. I need answers. Gray Shades.
Yeah.
Speak up. Do you know where you were when Randolph was shot?
Circulating with everyone else, of course. I've been avoiding Randolph, but he couldn't very well not invite me. We're neighbors. And I wasn't about to pass up on the chance to meet with the rich and famous at his party. They were my best chance to resurrect the book from the doldrums. I've been giving out signed copies for free this evening to try and get a celebrity recommendation. Besides, I have a garage full of the things, so I might as well shift as many as I can. Chris, did you speak to Randolph about the reporter before he died this evening?
Oh, yes, I did. Now that you ask me directly about it, I can remember. I did. Randolph said now that I knew how he could make or break my business and that I should maybe pay him a little more respect. And by respect, he meant money.
Oh.
He wanted to blackmail me.
Oh.
I'm a desirable blackmailee. I was horrified, and all these years I thought he understood the fashion industry, but it seems what he understood was how to get a fish on the end of his line and reel it in. I'm assuming that's how it works. I've never gone fishing. It seems like a very messy business. I can't believe I've even put myself in this position to get influence against me. I could not believe it. I mean, someone of my skills. Do you see this shirt with a Santa Claus on a red vehicle? The skill it requires. Paramount.
Unbelievable.
We've talked a lot about like reporters and reviews. Alex, did Randolph ever pay you to write bad reviews for like Gray or Chris?
Well, well, he didn't pay me, but he offered me a promotion if I did it. Only, of course, he never actually made good on that offer. I mean, at least not yet. And I guess fucking never now since he's dead. But it was always the carrot angle. The stick, of course, was losing my job. I always wanted to be a reporter, so I just did what I was told, okay? Like, Chris, I'm sorry. But yeah, it was me who wrote that last bad review of your fashion. And Ryan, it was also me who made leak your designs to your rival. Still sorry, but less sorry. Speaking of reviews, one I didn't write was yours, Gray. Was Randolph responsible for that one too?
Apparently. It seems this was the only book of mine Randolph has ever read, and he seemed to think I based the main evil protagonist on him. But as I told him at the time, it takes one narcissistic male ego to know another, and whatever he saw of himself in that book was more a reflection on him than it was on my writing. I never use real-life characters specifically because of stuff like this, but the review stuck, and the book sank like a stone. Jay, did you start those rumors about the treasure in the well?
I mean, I may have. I mean, look, Randolph, he was the biggest sucker going. He loved a conspiracy story. He loved a legend, local or not. I mean, I knew he didn't have the money. I knew I didn't have the money to pay him back. But if I could persuade him into buying my broken down well in return for clearing my debts and coming out on top financially, I mean, that was a win-win for me, really. And I mean, all it cost me was a few dollars to bribe his researcher and some rumors. So, I mean, still, now he's dead. I guess I get to keep the well and my money. Hopefully I might be able to pull the same scam on the next sucker who moves in to replace him.
No, wait a moment, Jay. Did Randolph make you an offer to buy the well?
I mean, he did. I mean, that's what he really wanted me to come to the party to talk about. He wanted to know if I'd sell him the land the well is on, so he could make it part of his estate. What he thinks he'll find there is really anybody's guess. I mean, we hadn't come to terms yet. I said I'd have to think about it, build that anticipation. I went out to the garden, and I don't know, I must have been talking with Chris when Randolph was shot. But
Allie, darling. Oh, were you speaking?
No, go ahead, Angel.
Oh, thank you. I am a diva. I could out voice you. Allie, do you hear me?
I do.
This is getting to my head. Randolph told me that he may have rumbled as a pair of bank robbers living on Wrong Island. So you and Casey, how exactly do you make your money again?
All right, already, yes, Casey and I did like a tiny spot of bank robbery, like a tiny, tiny amount. But that was many years ago. You know, the lure, Bonnie and Clyde. It's a whole thing when you're young. It's
See a pile of money.
besides,
I'm with you. Yes.
exactly. You know. Besides, the banks are insured, we didn't hurt anyone, and we've been paying taxes ever since, so I am respectable now. I have a Bichon Frise.
Does that mean Randolph was blackmailing you?
Are you desirously blackmailed?
The last thing I needed was Randolph putting my photo all over the papers. I am sure my face is still on some most wanted posters of some sort in some FBI office somewhere, and someone would be sure to notice. But he had me over a barrel, and there was nothing I could do but pay him. And I did pay him. I have barely got anything left from the divorce settlement now. You can check my bank account. And if you don't believe me, I am barely getting by. I might have to go back to work and work a job with my hands if I'm going to keep the house. Pfeffernuss and I are used to a particular lifestyle. Chris, what did you do after speaking to Randolph earlier in the evening?
Darling. First of all, we don't need to check your bank account. We can see what you're wearing. Second of all, I was in the garden, darling. I just needed to get some air. It was getting a little too stuffy. I greeted Randolph. I said, "Mi petit monsieur." I went, "Mwah, mwah," and I said, "I need to go outside." Jay can vouch for me. We were there together. We were talking about the gussets, because the right gussets can really make all the difference. And we were there, side by side, right next to each other, when the patio doors opened. Ryan came bursting through and told us that Randolph had been shot. And I didn't see anyone else come out those doors all night. But I did think I saw someone leave the room behind Ryan through the hallway door, but I can't tell you who they were. I had a little bit to drink, and it was a little dark in there, and I'll be honest, my mind was still on the gussets.
Jay is a man who looks like he knows his way around a good gusset.
I do. But Ryan, you look like somebody that might know your way around a gun. Do you by chance carry one?
Yes, I do. But I'm sure I'm not the only one who does. I got into the habit when I was making my long-distance attempts. You just never know where you're going to land. If you have a gun with you, you can defend yourself from wild beasts. Without one, you're just as likely to die post-crash from an animal attack as you were from the crash. Speaking of animals, Kendall, a friend of mine told me he'd seen you and your team leaving the New York Zoo Sunday evening during the time you were supposedly north of the Arctic Circle. Would you care to explain that?
I can, but I'd rather not. We had hoped no one had seen us. Randolph wanted photos. It's all he cared about. Only his sponsorship wasn't enough to get us all the way into the Arctic. So we just hid out for a bit in Quebec, and then came home again via New York, where we snapped a few photos next to the walrus and polar bear they had in the zoo there. Randolph knew it was his suggestion, actually. He said the photos and some tall tales would raise the funds we needed for a proper expedition later next year. So he had me sit down and draft some good stories with a writer he knew.
Kendall, I may be looking for work. Do you need a porter on your expedition? I have slender arms, but I can take a hefty load.
That is what I've heard.
I see you've been talking to my former 3 husbands.
Sounds like somebody's been tangling the schmooper.
I do want to clear the air here. Alexa, I do forgive you. And it only makes sense that someone would need to be of unsound mind to think that my fashion show was not good. And so not knowing now that what was behind it, we're all good. However, I do think I want to know, how good are you at your job?
How good am I?
Yeah.
I'm the fucking best. Listen, I was taught by the best. I learned from the best, and I'll give you this for free. I was just waiting to have enough dirt on Randolph to actually take his story to his rival. Yeah, I was. If he wasn't going to give me the promotion, then I was just going to go out and get it myself somewhere else. I did all the research that meant that Randolph could blackmail everyone, including all that research on the bank robberies that meant he could blackmail his next door neighbors.
Oh.
Awkward.
Yeah.
A bit.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of awkward, Kendall, didn't I hear you and Randolph arguing in his study earlier?
Well, you may have done. Randolph wanted exclusivity with regards to my expeditions, but he also didn't want to provide full funding that they needed either. His opinion was that we didn't need to travel, we just needed to appear to travel. Some good photos, a few tall tales, and his readers would be happy. He wanted me to agree to go into hiding regularly and come back with tales of daring do and images to match without ever having explored anything. I was adamant I was never doing that ever again. He said I had no choice. If I wanted his sponsorship, I had to do what he said. I told him there's more to life than money. I have my pride. I left his money on the desk.
Ryan, were you met by Randolph when you arrived this evening?
No, I was let in by one of his household staff. They said he was meeting with someone in his study. I don't know who it was, but I could hear raised voices, so I don't think it was a friendly conversation.
All right, then, everyone. It seems like you've all reached the limit of your questions. And we've probably all had the answers you're going to volunteer to. So I think it's time we've come to wrap up the case. Yes! Wrap it up, because believe it or not, we have heard enough to be able to identify the killer. There are certainly motives enough for a number of you who have done it: blackmail, extortion, revenge. But it's clear Randolph was not a man everyone enjoyed being friends with, but rather someone they couldn't afford not to be friends with. In truth, I'm surprised it took until now for someone to snap. But the fact is, today is the day that someone decided to put a stop to things. And I think I know who. And the question is, do any of you? Before I get to this, perhaps you would all like to make some sort of final statement.
Well, it goes without saying, a murder inquiry is the last thing I need. I can tell you now, I do not look good in orange. All this has done exactly what I was trying to avoid, which is draw the attention of the police.
Well, I needed Randolph alive if I was going to benefit from him buying that broken down well. But I suppose at least with him dead, I don't owe him anything either. Every cloud and all that.
Silver linings are definitely out, Jay. At least fashion-wise this year. The trend is for dark patterns as far as suit jacket linings are concerned. But mark my words, Alex, if you plan to continue what Randolph started, then don't even consider coming to me for a free press pass to my next catwalk.
Yeah, okay. Don't you worry your pretty little head about me, Chris. I'm my own person with my own moral compass. Working for Randolph was just a means to the end. Rung on a ladder, stepping stone, yada, yada, yada. I was just using him to get where I wanted to be.
And now that Stepping Stone is dead, I guess you aren't above standing on his shoulders now either. As for me, first on the scene does not make me last to see him alive, and the two don't necessarily have to go hand in hand.
Not necessarily, but equally, I wonder if it's a case of, dost thou protest too much? It was you, Ryan. It's probably just better to own it. It sounds to me like you'd have more friends than enemies here, present company included.
You forget, Angel, that the police are not so forgiving. They want their pound of flesh, and murder carries the death penalty. No one is going to willingly admit they did it.
And it's not like we're looking for someone with a smoking gun either. The gun was thrown in the river, and surely that gun on the table only makes things rather awkward. It means the killer didn't need to have brought one with them. Clearly, they didn't know it was there.
I can see your wheels turning, Gray. It's like watching a novel being written in slow motion. Okay, then. I think everybody said their piece, so it's time for you all to make a decision. Remember, what I want to know from each of you is who you think the murderer is and why.
Why, I believe it is Jay Walker. I think it's silly to make up a story about your own well. And I think that's criminal enough to be murder.
I too believe it's Jay Walker. I believe he murdered Angel Voice's sister and dropped her into the bottom of the well. And I believe Randolph knew and was using that as leverage to blackmail him.
I think it was Allie Money, because Jay Walker and Chris Tingle were talking outside, and they saw somebody go back in, which must have been Angel. But Allie had a motive to want to keep this guy alive to marry him for money. That doesn't make sense.
No.
Anyway, I think it was Allie.
Case closed.
That's the best accusation ever.
Listen, I'm
losing it.
I'm halfway through writing up what Kendall said, because that's the best story we got here. So I think it was Jay.
I think it was Alex, because it couldn't have been Kendall, because he had the money. If he would have killed him, he would have taken the money. The money was there for Angel to steal after Ryan found him. I know it can't be Chris, because I was out in the garden with him. And I mean, I've read Gray's books. He's a romance novelist, not a criminalist. And Allie,
Apparently,
while she's a bank robber, I don't think we've ever talked about her being a murderer in any of those. So by, just the process of elimination, it has to be you.
I think this is too juicy of a story not to be written by someone like Gray Shades. And although I was doing my best to pay attention to all the evidence, I don't remember someone saying that they found the gun in the river. But at the end, that's where he said it was found. And how would anyone know that but the murderer? Gray Shades, I cast shade on you.
I, for one, think that if Allie Money is willing to wear that tonight as a crime, she might be willing to do something else. That aside, I don't think she killed Randolph. She doesn't seem like the type to put that sort of a complicated plan into motion. However, we do know someone that can sing quite a tale. Angel Voices. I'm going to cast my aspersions that direction. Something about that stitch is not sitting right.
Cue the dramatic sting on the schmooper.
I love how the schmooper has been like 45 different things. Like, it's just an all-encompassing term. It's like a whatchamacallit.
It's a real 23 skidoo.
Okay. You've all had your guesses. Now it's time for me to tell you who killed Randolph Fitzgerald and why. First of all, let's start by ruling out all those who didn't do it. Firstly, we need to look at who was in full view of the time of the crime. None of the following people were seen near the study, and all of them have other guests as alibis at the time of the murder. Chris Tingle and Jay Walker were together chatting. Likewise, Gray Shades was enjoying the party and chatting with other guests at the time of the murder, which gives them all an alibi. As for Angel, Angel openly admits to being in the study when Randolph was shot, only sneaking out later when Ryan came in and discovered the body. What a shame it is you didn't see the murder, Angel. It would have made things a lot easier for us all. Kendall, Kendall, as an explorer, I'm sure you've had plenty of experience with guns. Did you bring one with you to threaten Randolph? No. You left his money on the desk. You hardly do that if you plan to kill him and continue to explore the world. That sponsorship money would have been a good start to the amount you needed to raise for your next adventure. Ryan found the body, but was Ryan also the one responsible for the murder? Access to the study? Check. Gun carrier? Check. But Angel remembers entering after the murder, which means the killer must have been somebody who came in before that entry. Someone who left pretty darn quickly, and quickly enough that Angel didn't see them after the gun went off. So who are we left with?
A foot race will decide it. Oh.
Alexa and Allie Money. Both stand to benefit from Randolph's death. Allie by removing your blackmailer, and Alex by getting the biggest scoop of your career and reporting on a murder inquiry. And both, we know, had access to guns. And the reason we know that is because Alexa's report on Allie Money. Ah, yes, life would have been much easier for you, Allie, if that connection to the bank robberies had never been made. And if Alex wasn't here in person, who made it? You said it yourself. You have no money left on which to play Randolph. You need him dead before he can publish his report on you, and what a better way to do that and remove suspicions for yourself than by doing it during one of his grand parties. A house full of people, many of which who carry weapons, who could suspect you, the friendly divorcee from next door. You waited until the party was in full swing, committed the act, and then left again before you thought anyone would notice. You even took the gun home again under the auspice of letting the dogs out while everyone else was waiting for the police to arrive. You'd hope that to get away with it, and you may have done too, if Alex's background research. And so I'm arresting you, Allie Money, for the murder of Randolph Fitzgerald and for those armed robberies you and Casey undertook all those years ago. The rest of you, you're free to go. Case closed.
Jay, please walk Pfeffernuss while I'm in jail.
Book number 5 is going to be amazing. Anyways.
Orange will not look good on you, darling.
It shan't.
Don't worry, I'll add Pfeffernuss to the dog team on my next polar
He's a Brisé. He's not built for the Arctic.
He's not cut out for that life.
We'll give him a gun and put a jacket on him.
Oh, that was ridiculous. At least this year, one of us accused who it actually was.
Yeah,
We're getting there. We're getting better.
I feel like that definitely did not happen with the pirate one.
nope.
No, everybody's just confused with the
That
pirate
was
one.
quite
And I
confusing.
feel like the one before the Christmas cracker one, I feel like the entirety of that murder mystery was just my character being a jerk to Chris's character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not written in at all. Just
Was that the one where I was the killer?
That was the one where you were the killer,
Yeah.
and Chris was my son-in-law, and I was like truly just the fucking meanest
Terrible.
to him.
yeah.
Terrible to him.
And I was supposed to be nice to you, but you were so mean to me that I'm like, I can't sit. I
I
need
simply
pie.
can't. I simply can't.
I'm still convinced
Oh.
it was Jay. I heard the explanation. I still think it's Jay.
That's fair. That's fair.
I want to know who killed Angel's sister. Was
Jay.
it Angel? Oh,
It
was
was
it?
also me!
Oh,
Randolph.
What? Why?
It was probably my husband who divorced me.
I don't like that he like saw me at a grocery store or whatever and was like, "Hey, you got the good vibe. Come sing with." Like, didn't he know his sister?
He saw you
his
at the
girlfriend's
club.
sister? Oh yeah, the
Sure.
club.
The one that we all know.
The one that we all know, the club.
Yeah, the one we all know.
Obviously.
Club.
Right?
Tattle tattle on the old schmooper, everyone, as we all used to call it.
I don't think that we could have summed it up any better.
Well, this has been Murder at Gatsby Manor, which I feel like we did better this year. I feel like previously we've gotten to the point of like j'accuse, we're all like, and then we just accuse whoever was the meanest to us.
Fair enough.
I have managed to get at least part of the
Shaggy
rationale
says that he
into my
got the
accusation.
Christmas one.
You know, I 100% thought that my character's name was Kris Kringle, which is the only reason I picked my grandma's old Christmas sweater and my Christmas shirt. And now I'm going back and realizing that there's nothing about my character that's Christmas related.
Lovely pom-pom on it. It's perfect.
That is spectacular.
I really enjoyed your bespoke pum-pum.
Yes, that was so good.
I tried to twirl it like it was my mustache a lot.
Really good.
Just
Well,
lucky I was an author because I was already wearing a black sweater.
That's perfect.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Well, I think it has been decided that we're going to do some super surprise emergency Jackbox for an hour because this was like, give yourself 4 hours to do this virtually. And I was like, okay, I've learned from the past, like, I'm going to give it 3. And then it took us like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So
I think they
Thanks
were
a lot.
expecting us to actually take breaks.
even if we did, though, 4 hours seems wild.
Oh,
And
100%.
this is specifically the virtual one because, like, there's also a copy that's made to play in person, which I totally get, like, you're circulating whatever, which takes
Mhm.
longer, but this is, like, virtually, give it 4 hours. And I was like, literally how?
Yeah.
Like, even if we were all
Oh.
doing a cuckoo bananas amount of ad-libbing, that feels wild.
Yeah. So, out of curiosity, do they let the murderer know they are the murderer, or did I
No.
just? God,
No.
that seems a flaw.
It even
Yeah, I
says
think I was the murderer 2 years in a row, and I didn't know. And the first time I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm the murderer. And the second time was one of the like cuckoo bananas ones, and I had no idea it was the murderer.
No
And I
idea.
really did not think I was the murderer. And I don't know if anybody else thought I was the murderer either. And
I feel like the first or second one we did that was Great British Bake Off themed, I feel like was good. And like we knew pretty early enough, like we knew early enough in like who it was kind of setting up to be the murderer, and so we all kind of played into it. And
Mhm.
sometimes they're written where it's just kind of like choose your own adventure, guys. Like here's a bunch of kind of arbitrary clues. And this one I think was better.
it was way more coherent.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
pirate
The
one was
pirate one
just everybody
was like
going,
it was written by
"Arr."
ChatGPT.
yeah.
"Arr."
There was that one that we did where the clues were purely inferred of like people's location and the layout of the mansion. You remember that?
Oh my god, yes, I do remember that. I think that was the Christmas one.
Like it involved the timing of somebody being able to get out the door. I was just like,
Yes. Yes.
Every year I wonder if we could write one of these ourselves.
Oh, we 100% could. Like it would just be like
Yeah.
making sure that everybody had the same kind of like general amount of lines for the timing,
Yeah.
but I feel like this one was much better than last time we tried.
I kind of wish the inspector got to ask some questions during the interrogation round, to be honest.
right?
Yeah.
My,
Like for having a pivotal role, you don't really talk a whole lot.
no. I'm to the transition period.
Yeah. There's also a virtual inspector, but it is real terrible, so
Oh no.
I would be interested in, since we have this, I would be super interested in running it with the virtual inspector and seeing like if that's why it takes longer.
oh my
for
god,
the
maybe, but
virtual.
it
And
would
then
have
the
to
other
be
thing
so
would be,
much.
I'd be super interested to see how this would play out in person. Because
Yeah.
I got like when I read my little like one pager, the first thing was just like, here's who you want to talk to, but it was also like, do not sit in one place. Walk about. It was like all these like physical cues about like
Yeah.
being kind of fidgety and like
Yeah.
really like high strung and high energy. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I can't just stand up and walk away from the camera. So what am I gonna do in that, in that
Just
case?
grab the camera and shake it a lot.
Like, that's beautiful.
It's just Clippy with a bow tie.
Yeah. And a mustache. So I saw the mustache, but I did not see the most excellent. Oh no, the little piece
The
of
little
like
thing, yeah.
goatee fell
Your
off.
goatee.
My goatee just fell off. I was,
I
I was
didn't notice that
fiddling
until I
with it
did
too
like the
much.
zoom in, and I was like, oh man, I missed a key detail of that fantastic.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
is one thing that gets lost when you play virtually is like we do all have like I'm supposed to be like really flirty and like touching people all the time. And I think Chris's character is supposed to like go around and like touch people's clothes and like hold things up to them and be like, that's not your color, this is your color.
They're like, I'm just a bunch of swatches,
like,
yeah.
Weird nonsense. And I think part of like that gets lost a little bit. So it would be fun to run one in person sometime.
I
I think
personally
there's-
was very touched by both of your performances quite often.
I'll also say that because so many people accused Lance, there was a part of me that's like, maybe we both did it and each other's alibis. I was like, I don't know.
Well,
That
when
would be-
Sarah started the inspector script about like Alex and I was like, oh shit, what if we both did it? Like, what if we did it in cahoots? Like, what if I wanted to no longer be blackmailed and he wanted to like finally release his story and we just kind of like combined our efforts?
I
Hello,
thought that
future
there was.
husband number 4.
I thought there was going to be something about the door being locked in it because didn't we talk about the door to the room being locked but the patio not? And Angel went back in through the door, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure exactly how the door was both locked and her having left through the door.
I interpreted that as there was like a door out to the garden and then there was also like the door into the room, like the interior door. But that's
it
just
sounded
how like
Angel was
my
hiding
mind
behind
callous.
the door. Oh, you know what it was? Because Ryan came in through the door when he heard the shot.
Right.
Angel was hiding behind the door.
The door.
Yeah.
Except that, yeah, I'm just still not sure how Angel didn't see the murderer.
She's really good at hiding.
Really good.
She was overcome with grief even a year later
Yes.
of her sister.
It's also funny that Jay and I were each other's alibis, but no one was like, Chris Tingle did it. They're all like, no, it was the other guy. Like,
I mean, I'm obviously a con artist, and so it made sense. Everybody's going to blame me.
I like that all of you like kind of started becoming shady in the second round of questioning, and it took till my third round of questioning to be like, my husband and I Bonnie and Clyded it up for a while. Like, what? Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot revealed during that third round of questioning that was like, oh, that's a big jump in some of the character development.
It's always a good time though.
Always a good time.
And we were all less lost this year, so that's something.
Do we
want to take like a $5 and then switch out to Jackbox?
Yeah, I think we can.
I need to take this off.
Yeah, my grandma sweater's got to go.
Especially now that you no longer need it.
Yeah, I can't believe
it.
I like that you just went with it. You were like, obviously that's what that means.
I didn't figure it out until we were like 75% of the way through, where I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It's like, but I've committed.
That's the best part of it.
I love that so much. Okay, amazing. So we'll take a $5 and then we'll just all jump back, and I mean anybody who wants to play Jackbox will jump back in the stream.
Yeah, perfect.
Sounds
Thank you
great.
everybody for watching. Jaggy, Spike, Robert, Nate,
Yeah.
Warriors
back.
here, Christy's
Y'all come
here.
back for Jackbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be some straight nonsense.
Oh, 100%.